Copyright. The exclusive right granted to creators of literary and artistic works to use or authorize others to use their work on agreed terms. And the moral right to oppose changes to the work which could harm their reputation.
I'd say that the greatest misconception of intellectual property in the Caribbean region is that once you've bought a CD, you have the right to do what you want with it. If you read carefully on every CD, or going back as far as phonograms and cassettes, it reads quite clearly, unauthorized playing, lending, hiring, prohibited by law. That's exactly what it means. It contains certain economic rights which don't transfer to you when you purchase such a music carrier.
I knew I was working. I was sitting in a corner catching whatever inspiration was around the place, and I needed to, and that was mine. What was coming out was from my mind, from my heart, and it was mine. So I had no problems with understanding that I needed to be compensated, and that was work, and that was property.
It's only in recent years there's been a strong push internationally to recognize the contribution of the creative sector. And what we are noting is that the benefits are quite significant.
There's a value to your creativity. And as an artist, it's important for me to understand this, to acknowledge this, and to find ways to maximize the returns on the value of my creative works.
Intellectual property rights, like any other property rights, allow the creator to benefit from his or her own work. If managed properly, IP can result in economic wealth and progress for both the individual and the country.
You notice Jamaica, it's a very big revenue earner for the country, the importation of the royalties.
Bob Marley, for example, his property is very protected by the Bob Marley Foundation, and it's an example of how IP really works. We have clients who make Bob Marley memorabilia products, and the first thing we always ask them, have you gotten permission from the Bob Marley Foundation?
Authors, composers and performers do not have the ability or the means to license the use of musical works individually. As a result, the establishment and enhancement of collective management organizations is a growing and necessary trend. Collective management organizations license the public performance and broadcasting of their members' musical works and collect, manage and disburse to members the royalties gained from national or international use of the work.
Collective administration is very, very key. It is not, I'll illustrate, you have a radio station, and a radio station will play thousands, hundreds of songs in any given month. Usually I'm using the reference of music, and usually in songs you have many interested parties. It would not be possible for a radio station to deal with the many thousands of persons that would be interested. Hence the need for collective management that can interface, so you reduce the level of noise, so to speak, between the radio stations, right? And also you have a global reach from collective management as opposed to a single person.
I'm an artist, I create, but I never made the link, or even until recently heard about intellectual properties, which I believe a lot of musicians make that same mistake that I do in the ignorance of not protecting us. I forget many things of protection, like for instance, if I create something, how best it's to be protected.
The most important thing for anyone who creates a work that could be protected, if you are a member of a collective management organization, which you should be, then register your work promptly. That's the most important thing they can do to benefit from what they create.
Stemming from the pervasiveness of music in the Caribbean, there tends to be the perception that copyright is limited to this art form. But this is not the case. Works covered by copyright include novels, poems, plays, paintings, photographs, sculptures, newspapers, computer programs, films, architectural drawings, advertisements, maps, and technical drawings. Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago is an explosion of fantasy, energy, creativity, artistry, and sheer fun. Trinidad-style carnivals have popped up throughout the region and are now a major tourism revenue earner in many islands. They've been taken to other lands by the Caribbean diaspora and attract millions of spectators while generating millions of dollars in places such as Notting Hill, Toronto, Miami, and New York.
In Trinidad and Tobago, we are the first and only country in the world that have developed a special form of protection for producers of mass, and it's called a work of mass. A work of mass is defined in the Trinidad and Tobago Copyright Act 1997 as an original production intended to be performed by one or more persons in which the artistic work in the form of an adornment and an image is the primary element, but which may be accompanied by music, dance, literary works, chanting, and whether performed on a stage, on the street, at a platform, or any other venue.
All of us who have played games would know that games can become extremely popular. In the Caribbean, there haven't been many persons stepping forward to create games of this type. Well, Calculink is a game that has been designed to improve mathematics skills for all those who play it. Primarily students who attend schools at primary level and secondary level. What we do as persons who design like board games, etc., we protect the image of the game, the appearance of the game, the wording and the branding and all that. We do that to safeguard ourselves.